I'm back here again to talk about American domestic politics because that's just what I do. And of course, ruffle feathers because, again, I know I'm making valid points, so I'm not apologizing for it. But, what was I going to say? So, yeah, this black pilling everything, the two sides, everything, blah, blah. No. We got to read the signs here because the reality is the believe in a democratic social democracy, believing in the power of making institutions work for people. You know, if you're in a certain lane of politics, you should probably stick to your politics. Okay? If you want to reach an olive branch across the aisle when it makes sense, I get it. You know, I'm not saying you have to be a hard partisan on every issue. But we should never downplay the dangers of what we're dealing with right now in this country. Because this is not even about ideology anymore. And that's what disappoints me about some of these media influencers. They truly downplayed how bad Trump was going to be. We're witnessing it right now. Now they're realizing they made a mistake. Okay. You guys did. All right. It is what it is. Of course, you can correct it. Now, I don't know how much damage control can be done, but again, this is never, you can be objective, you can be independent, you can disagree with certain wings of people you even agree with. Again, there's different brackets of the left and the right. We all have different wings of ideology in the same party. I'm not sitting here saying you have to be a far left zealot either. You know, I don't think I'm even that far left. I mean, I'm pretty left wing, but I'm not everything left is right, everything in the middle is wrong. No. I'm pretty nuanced and objective too. I mean, but we should never downplay the dangers of authoritarianism. Okay. Or people's sociopathic mindsets. Or downplay what people say they're going to do and end up doing it. Okay, if people tell you who they are, believe them. All right. I know we've been jaded so long by politics because people are the opposite when they campaign for office. They usually tell us there's something they're not. And they deliver us a bill of goods and they tell us they're going to do all these great things and they never do them. Okay, because they got to work within a corrupt system that bribes them to do the wrong thing and rewards their bad behavior. Yeah, that is a problem. That reality does exist. So we're so used to hearing politicians be so politician-y, if you know what I mean. So full of crap. They don't do anything. So we grow jaded to that messaging. We think, well, yeah, they're not going to do anything that crazy. They're not going to do. Again, somebody with the mindset of a Donald Trump, he tells you who he is, believe him. Because you're seeing the rot to the core. The evil things he said he was going to do, he did them on steroids. Okay. Now, as far as the populist stuff, no, we've yet to see that done yet. Okay. But we should never underestimate the power of these elites and these oligarchs. We should never underestimate the power of a sociopathic's mind and their agenda, which is what he is. Okay. He is not a typical politician by any means. We're seeing that. And sometimes that's a bad thing. I know people are so jaded by politics. I get it. We're all tired of politicians. We're all tired of the culture of Washington. We're all tired of these people being out of touch with the realities that people deal with every day. Okay? But this guy was not the antidote. This guy is worse. Because not only is he just as corrupt as these people, he's more sociopathic. Okay, and all these billionaires around him are also more sociopathic than the politicians we claim to hate. So they weren't going to do anything to help working class people. That's for darn sure. All right. But now he's going to act on the worst wings of society through our government. And we're seeing it right now. And it disappointed me greatly to see all these influencers downplay the danger of this guy. Just because they felt the system was already corrupt and they were jaded about everything. And the Democrats were not progressive enough or not outsiderish enough or focused on things they didn't care about. So we should downplay the dangers of fascism because we're not happy with the other side that much. Like, make that make sense. It doesn't make sense, does it? Okay, do we want a better Democratic Party? 112%. Now, again, I don't disagree with any of their critiques. I do think the Democrats ignoring the Palestine, Gaza, and Israel issue was a flawed mistake on their part. Because a lot of people are just angry about all our money going to all these stupid wars. And the human rights abuses we're witnessing every day, and they're telling us we're not seeing what we're actually seeing, which we know darn well know what we're seeing. Again, we all know these realities. We speak about them every day. Okay? We see the objective evidence. We're not denying it's a reality and exists, okay? I'm not telling you the Democrats are perfect. They need to change a lot. And I mean a lot. Just like the Republican Party needs to change. The Republican Party's got to refine its soul after Donald Trump because this guy's taking him down the gutter. All right. But both parties need to find their way again. You know, and again, I understand. Of course, I'm enjoying watching the implosion of the Republican Party because I'm a progressive Democrat. But if I want this country to truly get better, like a lot of us do, I can't just wish for the implosion of one party for that to happen. I want, because I understand we still have a two-party system. All right. I want, when all this dust settles, to have a healthy two-party system again. We as a country are the only ones can change this. The politicians aren't going to be able to save us. We have to save ourselves from ourselves. We have to vote for people who actually care about the health and prosperity of this nation. All right. We do need a healthy two-party system. Not because I want the other party to win, but because I know that's just the reality we live in. We have a two-party system regardless. And eventually that party will thrive again. So when that party has to get back in power, once they lose their power in the future and get it back again, I hope to God they don't become the party that they are today again. Because it terrifies me to what's happening to this country right now. You know. But yeah, we have to be objective, but we can never downplay the dangers of fascism, and I'd say shame on these influencers for doing that. Shame on you guys. You guys know better. You guys are intelligent enough to know better. I'm glad you're at least course correcting the damage you caused, though. But I think to go further, you need to apologize to the people that worked with you, that tried to warn you, and you downplayed what they were saying. Okay. So my advice to Jink and Anna is I think you owe Francesca an apology, along with the other people that worked on your network. And you also owe Emma Vigeland an apology, because they both tried to tell you what Donald Trump was going to do, and you guys downplayed that reality. Okay. But that's all I wanted to say here about social media influencers. See y'all later. Have a great day. Have a great night. Goodbye. Love you all.